They stay on the ground. Again, it's a Ajayi. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. The Eagles on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is third down and 12. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
On the ball.
To throw is Wentz. Hard throw, incomplete.
The touch and time here critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
The Eagles send out their punter now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape, 1st and 10. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Back to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. He's back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
They'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end, and it's 3rd down. This defense making some plays right now, aren't they?
And they look like a group that really locked in before this series started. Read their scouting reports, got back to reading their keys, and playing with excellent leverage up front.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Now a desperate. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Now Manning, gotta have this one. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Odell Beckham with time running out. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we may very well be headed to overtime. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. This is Ajayi. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Now Wentz. Going long here for Wallace. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. They'll start out on the ground with Ajayi. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. They run again with Ajayi. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
So a big play in this opening drive of overtime. Now looking at a 3rd and 3. First throw of overtime for Wentz. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down.
On the ball.
Here's Ajayi. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
On the ball.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Now a first throw here in overtime. Being chased out left. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. A gigantic call there in overtime, but it pays off with a first down. Wentz now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with a running back. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A partner, great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
And you really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we sign off from MetLife Stadium.